Hey Brad, how are you, man?
How are you?
I am doing great, sir.
It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you. This is such a delight. I'm excited to talk to you about this film, and I'm especially excited to talk to you about your scene-stealing performance as
Oh
Lord
my.
Grigon. And I
Oh
think
my.
you were outstanding. And
Thank
he's
you.
he's so visually wild. He's big. He's got this presence to him, but underneath it all, there's a lot of heart. I wanted to ask you right off the bat, how did you connect with your character on a personal level?
Wow, that's interesting. I just kept thinking of Raymond and how much I hate him. And it just no, you know most I think a lot of this film is about bullying and that's one of the things that I love about the film is it addresses that, which is so prevalent. It was a part of my childhood, and I kind of saw Grigon as, most villains are wounded, right? They're people that I don't mean to sound like Dr. Phil here, but they have stuff that they've just never worked out. So
Correct.
everyone's going to pay for it, you know?
Hmm.
And I kind of just went, wow, this is a guy that's just bigger than life, obviously, literally. And I think so much of his bravado is covering up things that he missed in his childhood. And
Yeah.
I think Elio is probably the first person to really show him a window into that goodness,
Hmm.
to maybe look at the other side. I love the messages about parenting. I love the messages about dealing with grief, things you don't really touch upon in an animated film. And it's so prevalent, obviously, in our society. And but that's what's great about a Pixar film is they're able to pull at those heartstrings, and then you're laughing the next minute, and then you're
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I feel like there's so much that's relatable to Lord Grigon's journey, and just
yeah,
like you said, I'm a father. I have almost a 3-year-old, and there's so much I
okay,
can relate to understanding that idea of not wanting to project too much, but
exactly.
give that room for your child to grow and be
See,
themselves
that
in
was
the
see
best way.
that's this your first child?
Yes, it is. It is.
Congrats. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I wanted, I was a fixer.
Right.
I was so afraid of repeating any of the stuff that didn't work for me in my childhood
Hmm.
that I became a little bit of a helicopter
Controlled.
parent.
I know. I
And
got
I
you.
could
I
see
know what you
you've
mean.
already worked through that. So good for you.
I try to, but
Well, you're
I definitely
aware
have to
of it.
catch myself.
You're
Yes, but
aware
it's
of it.
movies like this that help kind of shape that, like you
Yeah.
said. And
Yeah.
there is such deep emotional truth to all Pixar movies, and this one was no different. Was there
Yeah.
anything that surprised you emotionally about this film when you saw it in its full completion?
I was just amazed at what the Elio character was able to navigate
Hmm.
and without making him a victim.
Hmm.
It's like all the things that weighed heavy, even though he was trying to find out who he was, none of it ever deterred him,
Hmm.
and he became more courageous in the more foreign environment. That's what was so. He had trouble on Earth, but when he went to the communiverse, he was
Hmm.
in control, which showed me that he had it all the time, like all of us do. It's there.
Yes,
It's just how
it's
do
there.
we tap into it?
I that's such a great like motto in life is to understand what's inside of you. It's just unlocking that potential,
Yeah,
and maybe it is a new opportunity, and maybe
you
it is
bet.
seeing that. Now, you've voiced so many different characters in your career. When you're playing someone like Lord Grigon, like what part of you are you really kind of like dialing up? Are you doing more like body performance? Like are you performing while you're in the booth and stuff like that to really get that
Yeah.
level?
There was a lot of body performance, and you really have to, especially when you're playing a massive character physically.
Hmm.
Nothing is done small. So the exertions of just throwing something or grabbing something, it all has to have that weight and bravado behind it, that
Yes.
girth. And that's where great, directors come in that we were obviously lucky enough to have because they got to keep that because I'm always trying to be like, gosh, don't overact, don't
Mhm.
overact. But with animation, it's very different. And the great thing is they draw to your dialogue, so it keeps it very loose, and you can come up with ideas, and they can come up with ideas. And yeah, but it was a lot of fun. Grateful to be part of this.
That's awesome. Well, I would love to see the behind the scenes of you in the booth doing the voice performance to get
Yeah,
to get that presence. But this has been an absolute
thank you.
blast, Brad. It is so
Appreciate you,
great to
man.
chat with you, and thank you again for the
Thank you.
laughs and just bringing Lord Grigon to life. I can't wait for everyone to meet him in Elio
Thank you.
later.
Hug your
Thank you so
kid.
much.
Hug your
I
kid.
will. I
Take care.
will.
Good
Thanks,
luck.
Brad.